we are coming close to this scale. You see the scale, the white one?
Mm-hmm.
So on the top there is a blue mark.
Yeah.
This is the level of the flat
Oh.
we had in 2002.
It's about
7 meters, maybe. I'll show you pictures of. Yeah, it was really tough to have a rain for many days. Got the flood like this. This is the last picture. Here, yes, here, Charles Bridge in front of us. I will speak about it. Now, if you look at this picture, you can see how it looked here in 2000, and you can send it around. So this is the Charles Bridge, and you see the picture, how deeply the pillars they're under the water. Here, madam, here's the picture. Let's see what happened that time. Wow. So what do you see here? You see the Prague Castle. Prague Castle. Prague Castle, it's quite a big complex of buildings. It starts, where is the flag? And it goes all the way up to the tower over there. So this is basically one of the biggest complex of castle in the world. It's huge. There are two churches. The most important is St. Vitus Cathedral from 14th century, and there are some other churches. Basically,
the one behind the.
It's actually the church.
Uh-huh.
Prague Castle. It's in here. It's a church, another church.
Yeah,
it's a
the
complex.
main one, yeah.
It's like a little town, let's say. You know, it's just a big complex of different buildings from different centuries. Basically, they started to build the castle, let's say, in about 9th century, and they finished it in 20th century. There were kings and emperors living there, and from 1918 we have a president office in the castle. The tradition still continues. So
It means the construction was going on for almost 1,000 years.
true. So you find there very old, ancient parts, and then you will find there quite newer parts.
Is it open for tourists?
It is. You can see it. Yeah. So that was a castle. Now we can see the bridge.
Yeah.
Our most
The
famous
most famous.
Charles Bridge.
If you Google it, famous place, Google will just show you here.
Yeah. So the bridge. Tell you some interesting information. So the bridge was built 45 years. It's like really one lifetime, is it? They built it in 14th century. They started in 1357 and they finished it in 1402. With that date, 1357, I can tell you a quite interesting thing. It was influenced by astrology and numerology. The first stone was laid exactly in 1357, 9th of July at 5:31 in the morning. Why? It was like lucky numbers. And I will explain you the way how the numbers go. It's actually the odd numbers coming up and down. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. So the date can be read as a 1357, 9th of 7 months at 5:31. It goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. 1357, 9th of 7 months at 5:31 in the morning.
Wow.
So the lucky numbers helped the bridge to be here for such a long time. Show you sometimes it was quite difficult. It was just a picture. At 19th century they were able to take pictures, but in 1890, for example, Charles Bridge went through this huge another flood, and it was broken. But it was even 100 years before, 100 years before, and 100 years before. Right. So the lucky numbers helps, but sometimes it was quite kind of complicated. Why is this bridge called the Charles Bridge? You can see who Charles was. There's a statue. You see the green statue? His green statue is a king, Charles IV, who governed this region in 14th century. And he was so important for our state. We have a quite famous Charles University in Prague, Charles Bridge, Karlštejn Castle, all these many things he left behind. In his time, that's quite interesting, Prague became to be third biggest city in Europe. Paris and London that time were not that big as Prague. 14th century, this time. 14th century it was bigger than Paris and London. Yeah, so he was very famous emperor. He governed the area well. Now we have quite interesting thing. These big wooden constructions, that's interesting.
Mhm.
You know, they were used as icebreakers. Really.
Oh.
They were used as icebreakers. We just go a little bit further from there so you won't see them so closely. I will show you what happened here. You'll see all the pictures. People ice skated here every winter in the past. It was a typical winter picture, right? This river, in this time of year, it was always frozen this much that people really could ice skate it.
Ah.
But it changed. Not global warming, but it changed because people built on this river big dams.
Uh-huh.
They are not that far from here. And the dams, they release the bottom water, the warm water. So that's why generally the whole temperature of river raised. So even if we have very, very cold winter, the river does not freeze. You will not see this anymore, but it was very typical. And I have, this is quite funny, this picture. See what people are doing there? They're collecting ice in the past. This is an old picture, like let's say 100 years, more than 100 years ago. I'll show you where.
Call it dive.
What is it?
Why they call it dive?
I will show you exactly. I'm showing it here because if you see the door in the waterfront, this is the same place. You see the picture? It's
Yeah.
that's place. So I'll tell you why. In the past, yeah, we are a country, beer probably have no taste. Was there and other, I mean, it was a tradition to have beer here. And in the past, when people didn't have electricity and refrigerators, and we have this kind of climate, people
they
collected with big pieces of ice. It's interesting. They put it into the cellars, down into the cellars of the restaurants, and now it comes. It stayed there for 8 months, all the way, all the summer.
Then they were using it in the summer.
They were using it, they cooled the beer. Now we have the refrigerator system, we have electricity, that's no problem. But in the past, they were really so clever. They could keep these big pieces, they must have been big pieces of ice with the barrels of beer right down in the cellar. And it took about 8 months. I couldn't believe it myself. 8 months, it's long.
In summer.
It's long.
In summer.
Yeah. So that's this one. Now I'll tell you a few words about the weir. These are not the dams, these are little weirs, dikes in English. And they were built to make the water deeper and navigable for boats. Another reason, they were built to be a source for water mills. You know what I mean? These two buildings were mills. They only don't have the wheels anymore, but they were quite old, famous mills, and they produced the flour for the city. We never had, like in Holland, the windmills. We had a lot of these water mills. Yes, and maybe one more reason I can tell you. You see the tower? And we see only the roof of the green roof of the tower.
Yep.
Right? So this tower was in the past an old water tower. So let's say in about 16th century, the Prague people, Prague citizens, they could deliver the water from the river because of this tower to the local fountains that were situated, I don't know, 2 kilometers from the river itself, on the main squares. So the weirs were quite important, fast. In the middle, there was the raft gate. Now we have a lock. If you have a boat like this, you can go through the lock and you can continue up the stream. But in the past, only the wooden lock door was open. And before we will leave this place, I have to tell you a few words. So you have National Theatre, the Golden Top Dome, the biggest and most famous theatre in the city, built at the end of the 19th century. Quite interestingly, I only speak about this time, it's interesting. You know that if you would come here 100 years ago, we won't be speaking Czech, but German. We were Austria-Hungarian Empire, so at that time people spoke German. So this theatre is very important for Czechs because it was the first Czech playing theatre basically.
Oh.
And now they collect a lot of money, and after all they played the first Czech plays. So that's why it's so important for us. And have you seen a film Mission Impossible 1?
Yeah.
The building on the left is the Liechtenstein Palace, the beige one. Which played the role of an American embassy, like big part of it. It's Tom Cruise is jumping out of one of these windows, running up to Charles Bridge. So the scenes, the car park, Liechtenstein Palace, and the Charles Bridge, that all appeared in the film Mission Impossible 1. Yeah. So in a minute we are going to go into the area that is called the Venice of Prague. It takes you to the little canal. Prime Minister's house, you can see from here. See the villa? These two flags? So that's the Prime Minister's house. President has its office. Yeah, it's the red roof house. President has a castle, Prime Minister has this villa, and they're very close to each other. But in our country, obviously, Prime Minister is sort of more important to govern things. Yeah, so you can see also some of the statues on the Charles Bridge. There are about 31 statues. The most important one, you can see people are touching it. You see at the bottom, there's a statue where people touch. Yeah, that's